everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making a simple beaded jellyfish. And special thanks to Mimi for requesting this. So let's get started. For beads, you will need 32 top color beads. This jellyfish I made off of like a real jellyfish, which is this one. So I just made it resemble it. So the top of it is orange. So you'll need 32, I guess, top beads today. I'm going to use yellow. I'm making this jellyfish. You will need 117 for this one. I used red. For this one, I'm using just a different kind of red. This will be for the tentacles on the outside. And then there's a big tentacle. I don't know the proper term for them, but there's a big one in the center, and you will need 23 beads for that, and I'm using light yellow. For wire, you will need, for like the main body, not the tentacles, we'll add all the tentacles on separately. For the body, you will need one 20-inch or 51 centimeter piece of 28 gauge wire. I use black copper wire. I buy mine on firemountaingems.com, but this is stuff I bought at my local bead store. But the stuff on firemountaingems.com called pear wire, the black copper wire specifically, this isn't black copper, but the black copper wire specifically is really good. So yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than the stuff from my local store. So yeah, for each tentacle you will need an 8-inch piece of wire, and there are 9 tentacles, so you will need 9 8-inch pieces of wire, and that is also 21 centimeters. So 9 8-inch or 21 centimeter wires, and one 20-inch or 51 centimeter wire. You also need scissors to cut your wire. You will need a ruler to measure your wire, and you will also need something to hold your beads in, so just bead containers. So let's get started. So first you're going to fold your bigger wire in half. You're just going to meet the ends and strip it back like that. And first you're going to add one of your top beads. I'm using yellow. So I'm going to put one yellow bead on my wire. Bring it down. And hold it in place with your fingers. And take one wire and loop it around and through the bead and pull tight. Make sure your wires are even, and they are. And then you can pull the rest of the way. Now I like to strip my wires back again so they're straight. Now I'm going to add a row of 3 beads. 1, 2, and 3. Bring them down. Now I'm going to take the empty wire, loop it around and through. And then pull tight and have it kind of curve around that center bead like that. Now we're going to flip it around and add 4 beads to our wire. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those down and take your empty wire, string it through the other beads, and pull tight and kind of have it make a circle over or around the center bead, just like that. Now you're going to do a row of 6. So 6 beads on your wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring those down and take your other wire and string it through all of those beads. Pull tight, just like that. Now we're going to do a row of 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to take our wire, our other wire, and loop it around and through all the beads. Just like that. And pull tight to kind of curve it around. And it should look like this now. The next row, you're going to put 8 beads on your wire, but we are going to be alternating 2 colors. So we're going to use the rest of our yellow beads, or at least I'm using yellow. And we're also going to be using some of our red beads, or at least I'm using red. Just the color that your little tentacles, the outside tentacles, will be. So we're going to do 8 of those. So I'm going to start with yellow. So 1, and then go red, 2, yellow, 3, red, 4, and just keep doing that pattern. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now bring those down, and you're going to put your wire through half of those beads. So 4 of them. And now we're going to grab that and pull tight. And you, instead of resting it like in line with the other rows we did, we're going to tighten it so it's just slightly underneath. So there's like a little, it like goes down a little bit to form the shape of the jellyfish. And now, if you've watched some of my other tutorials, you probably know what's coming next. We are going to loop our wire around and through this, the previous row, just like that. And this just helps make it a little bit secure. And so it won't flop around or anything, the rows of beads. It just keeps the rows of beads together. And then just string your wire through the rest of the beads on that row. And pull tight. And now you can pull on both wires to tighten it. And there is that row. And now we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but with more beads. You're going to take 10 beads, and you're also going to alternate the colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This should be your last yellow bead, and 10. All right, now we're going to string our wire through 5 of those beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull tight. And now we're going to do the same thing where we loop our wire around and through the gap made by the last row. Loop it and kind of hook it around, and then continue the same way you came and string the wire through the rest of your beads in that row. Like that. Pull tight. And now pull on both wires. Just like that. And now we have the top of our jellyfish. Okay, I messed up here. I'm just going to go back and redo it, but make sure it's like every other bead is a different color, because right here I have 2 in a row, and right here I also have 2 in a row, so I don't want that. So I'm just going to make the pattern differently and pay more attention to what I'm doing. So I'll be right back. All right, I fixed that. So now they are alternating. And now we are going to do the next step so we can get the tentacle, like the big tentacle in the middle. We have to get these wires to the center of our design though. So if you see the first bead we put on right there, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The first bead we put on right there, we are going to kind of push that out a little bit. We can fix it later, but we are going to loop our wire in and through that bead. Might take a little bit of work, but alright, so I got it through that center bead, but I cannot get it up back through. So what you're gonna do, if you're having trouble like I am, just stick it through that bead and just pull it tight. Not super tight, gently tight. And just like that, pull it. So it's like that, just sticking out through your jellyfish. And then we're just going to stick it back in. Not through that bead again, but just back in. Just like that. So now you see it is going through that center bead right there. Hopefully that makes sense. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with the opposite wire. Oh, look, this one I got through right away. Like that. Pull tight. You might want to hold it in place a little bit. But yeah, it should look like this. So both wires are strung through that center bead. You might want to pop that top bit out a little bit because it might have collapsed in when you were working. But now we're going to do the center stinger tentacle thing. Oh, look, I just pulled on it and look, it collapses. But it's okay. We'll just push it out again. Okay. Now we are going to take two of our, I'm using light yellow. So take two of those on your wire, bring them down. And now you're going to do the same thing where you take your empty wire, loop it around and through those beads. And pull tight, but just gently pull tight, because if you pull too tight, then you'll collapse your jellyfish. Now you can pop the top up a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing. So a row of two. 1, 2. Bring it down. Take your empty wire, loop it around through the beads on your other wire and pull tight. Now we're going to do that 8 more times. 1, 2. This is the 4th time we've done it in all. We're going to do it 10 times in total. This is the 4th time. Fifth time. Sixth time. 7th, 8th, 9th, and we're going to do it one last time, and 10th. And now, as you see, we have 3 yellow beads or light yellow beads left over. So now we're going to do 3 rows of 1. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, now we're done with that. Now we're going to finish it off. So take your wire, loop it around through that bead, pull tight. Now take the other one and loop it around the other way through the bead, pull tight. Now take both of your wires and twist them together. Now you're going to take your scissors and clip off the excess and fold the little pointy bit down. And now you're going to kind of hold the base of your beads and then twist so they form a spiral. Just like that. And there's the middle bit of your jellyfish. And now we're going to move on to the tentacles, or whatever they're called. So now you're going to take one of your 8-inch or 21 centimeter pieces and fold it in half. And you're going to take it and one of the yellow beads or whatever your color you're using, take it and loop it through and have the center rest on that bead. And now you're going to take one of your tentacle beads, put it on your wire, take the wire that's empty, make sure the center stays where it's supposed to be, and loop it around and through that bead. And obviously the center is not staying there, so if you want you can hold it in place with your fingers and just kind of tighten it like that. Just loosely tighten it, and then you can compare your wires, see if they are even, and if they are, yep, then you're good to go. So now pull tight, and now you're gonna do 12 of these beads. We have already done 1, so we just have to do 11 more. 1, pull tight, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, think I miscounted because I had 13, but I just took one off. So yeah, that is basically all you need to do. And now you just need to finish off your tentacle. I should really look up what the proper term for these are called, but you get the idea. So finish that off just like we did the main body of the jellyfish. Trim off your excess. Fold down the pointy bit. And now you don't have to do this, but I just like to give it a little bit of curve to it. So just curve it around a little bit. There we go. So it's just not like super straight. It has a little bit of different shape to it. Now you're going to do this again. So take another one of your wires, fold it in half, and take the next yellow bead, or whatever color you're using. Oh, it's not focused. String it through the bead. If you're having trouble, just curve your wire a little bit, and it'll help it get through the bead. There you go. So it's not focusing, I'm sorry. Yep, string it just through that one bead and make it rest at the center like that. And now you're going to just do the exact same thing. So one, make sure it's centered, hold it down maybe, and then just pull. It is even enough. And yeah, do the same thing. I'm going to speed the video up. So yeah. Alright, so I finished that. Now I'm going to finish it off. And clip off the excess. And now I'm going to mold it the same way I did the other one, just so it's a little curvy. And there's your second tentacle. And I'm not going to show all this, but basically all you have to do is go around, and to every other bead, you're going to add these little tentacles. And it'll take a while, but at least it's easy. So I'm going to cut back to when they're all done. Alright, I'm done with all of the little tentacles, and that is it. Now I am done, and if you finished, then you are done too. So congratulations. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and it was pretty easy to follow. If you have something that you want me to make sure to leave it down in the comments below, and I will try to make it for you. Thank you again to Mimi for suggesting this lesson, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!